Growing up, I had dreams and aspirations, but always felt like the kid that didn't fit in. For the most part, I wasn't a bad kid, but when I made the transition into adulthood, I turned to the streets for guidance. This led to getting locked up in juvenile hall, doing time in CYA, and eventually a 120-month sentence in federal prison. I had a lot of time to think and reflect during my federal sentence, so I share with you what I learned, hoping I can positively influence someone else's life with Prison Talk.
916, getting down with Fresh Out. You tuned in to another Prison Talk. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and represent. You know, not to come to anybody's defense, but they're calling P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Diddy, Mr. Bad Boy, they're calling him the Black Epstein. They're saying he ran a blackmail operation on the same level, but within the entertainment and hip-hop community, the rap industry, that he had cameras hidden in various rooms where he would have these freak-off parties. And people would be recorded and possibly compromised in the future if need be. Now, before we get deep into Puffy, we still haven't uncovered the man himself, Mr. Epstein, who they say allegedly suicided himself while in prison awaiting trial. Now, if you recall, there was actually another situation in relation to that case where a judge's family was hit by a mail carrier or a possible driver for a UPS or FedEx that came to the house under disguise, and the husband and the son was shot. You remember that? Now, I can't recall if it was, I think it was actually the Ghislaine Maxwell case, which was also tied into Epstein, where that judge, who was, I believe, a magistrate, seemed like it was a move to kind of throw the case off. But it was, you know, major, and that guy, they never got him either because he was killed or suicided. I can't remember. But a lot of stuff was going on with that whole sex trafficking, Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell case. And we never got to the bottom of that case as the public. So fast forward, they're still talking about the list. They're still talking about the island. You know, they done removed evidence. All kind of stuff has been covered up. But here we have it. Fast forward, 2024, Puffy going down that same road. And who knows where that road will lead to. But to me, it's like another distraction for what they don't want us to be looking at, which is the initial Epstein case that had all the dignitaries, foreign ambassadors, politicians, prominent businessmen participating in some things that they don't want to come out to the public. As someone from the outside looking in, you know, if you're doing anything with young people and you're exploiting them, it's wrong. And when you talk about getting people to do things or to promote certain narratives, the best way to do that is to have dirt on them. It's like having dirt on somebody in the hood. Oh, that dude over there, he snitched, blah, blah, blah. I remember in the county, I seen his paperwork. Or, oh, old girl right there, she was sleeping with the ops. Or, old boy right there, he was blah, 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 blah. I mean, dirt has been used across the board, whether it's the hood, whether it's the politicians, whether it's sports, you know, performance enhancements. If you have dirt on somebody, the time is right, you pull it out, you get them to do what you want, and you keep it pushing. And that's what's going on right here. You know, he pissed off some people, obviously, and he has to now take a fall. And I'm not looking at it as anything outside of, you play that game, there's a lot that comes with that game, and as you move up the ladder, you see there's different levels. You make choices, and you have to live with those choices, and that's why a lot of people you see are under the hypnosis of alcohol and drugs, and they're trying to basically pacify their emotions because they're dealing with things that they did to get to where they're at. But you have to live with that, and you have to get past it, and some people can't get past it, and so it comes back to haunt them. And a lot of people right now are being haunted by these past deeds that will eventually surface. Cat Williams said 2024 will be the year of exposing all this, and we will see a lot of things get exposed in 2024. We're only almost in April, and already we have a bunch of things coming to light, whether it's Puffy with this whole sex trafficking, and people now feeling like they can come forward, various entertainers, various women, a lot of these other narratives. It's just, we're going to be entertained, to say the least, in 2024 with a lot of big stories. And I would like to get you guys' take on it, man. What do you guys think about it? And, a lot of people from the outside looking in are surprised. I'm not surprised, man. I mean, one of the things about entertainment business, whether you're in the studio, whether you're on the set, whether you're hanging out, you're dealing with a lot of egos, narcissistic mentalities, and when you're around those type of people, if you're not doing certain things, if you're not engaging, then you're not going to be invited to the next level. Whether it's going out somewhere, I mean, even on a business meeting, having drinks, you can't sit there, oh, I'm not going to have a drink. Well, a lot of people expect you to at least have, maybe a little champagne, a little wine. And then, on some levels, they want you to do a little Coke with them. Or, hey, let's pop these mollies, or whatever the case may be. And then, hey, I'm having a party, but are you cool with so-and-so? They're bisexual. There's going to be this there. And if you're cool with it, it keeps escalating. And that's how they get you, because you work your way through the different levels. And that's kind of like, I guess, a trust thing in their eyes, but really they're seeing how far they can take you. And best believe if there's something that goes down and they can get you on tape for future so that they can secure themselves, they're going to get you on tape. And these people, they're not really your friends, they're just acquaintances. These people are, trying to claw their way up to the top. That's why it's such a, they say a lonely stand when you're up there, because you can't trust anybody. Everybody's out for themselves. Everybody's watching their own ass. People throw each other under the bus every day, People write shows together. People steal scripts. People get attorneys, sue each other over stuff. And it's just cutthroat, man. And you never know who's on your team unless you really have somebody that knew you from day one or from the ground up. And even then, if somebody back then, has something on you that they can somehow get a little 5 minutes of fame, they'll exploit that. So just know that this Puffy thing, I never met the man, never partied with him, but it's not just about Puffy. It's also about a distraction, because we still haven't got to the Epstein thing. What was going on. And a lot of these rituals, they say, go on in Hollywood behind closed doors. A lot of it, it involves sex. It involves drugs. It involves blackmail. If you go back and, even read up on the Manson family and how he was partying with one of the members of the Beach Boys and different other entertainers, it was a lot of underage sex. There was a lot of drugs. And there was a lot of things happening that weren't really publicized. So, not to, confuse the two or mix the two to say that they're the same, but I'm saying drugs, sex, and entertainment has always ran hand in hand. And if you don't understand that, then you don't really, you're pretty delusional as far as what you think Hollywood consists of when it comes to the upper echelon and even the music industry. I mean, the music now, everybody has a gun like it's a wallet. You know, they done conditioned all these young men to walk around with guns and you know, you got to have a joint in your mouth. You know, you got to be smoking weed or you're not cool. You got to act like you got an air gun if you don't have a real gun. You know, it's just a psychological thing. This is what they call what's the term I'm looking for? It's a program, but it's also propaganda, which feeds the narrative, which feeds the entertainment coffers, and which feeds the public's drive for just being entertained and not focusing on what's really going on in life, because you need distractions in order to make you feel better about your own misery. But yeah, man, silent weapons for quiet wars. They've talked about a lot of this, and the Puffy thing, you know, calling him the Black Epstein. I kind of found it ironic when Epstein, we still haven't got to the bottom of his situation, and they've already jumped to Puffy, but yet Epstein was doing a game at a whole nother level. And of course, you know, somebody got in Puffy's ear, told him how to do it, and you know, he's been doing it. He had a hell of a run, but with any of this stuff, all runs have their course, and somebody has to fall right now, because eventually when the Epstein stuff, if it ever does come out, it's going to expose some people, but we need some other people to go down before we expose these people, or to try to protect those people we don't want to expose. So Puffy, you know, he made a lot of money, made a lot of friends, made a lot of enemies, compromised a lot of people, did a lot of things that are alleged to not be right, but he has to live with it now. That's the game, you know, bad boy for life, he said. So, hey, share the channel, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you think. Do you think the trade-off is worth it to go up there and let somebody bust your cheeks for the bag, to be on stage, getting awards, to be, you know, trafficked out, you know, to participate in these wild functions in exchange for fame? Is that something long-term that you think that these people are going to be proud of, or there's going to be something they're going to regret? And yeah, it's a lot of spiritual stuff going on with all this too, because it's just coming out, and as people change their consciousness, they change the way they look at things. They don't care about talking about them anymore, because now they feel like, hey man, you know what? It's the truth has to come out. And that's what I see right now. There's a lot of truth coming out, because people have changed their vibrations, and they're just like, you know what? I don't care if I'm not involved in that anymore, that lifestyle. I've got to speak out. So we're hearing a lot of people speak out, and there's going to be a lot more coming forward. So Big Hurt 912.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. I'm Big Hurt, and I have over a decade of experience in the prison system. Yeah, I've done a lot of time, made a lot of stupid mistakes, but that's why I'm here with you today, educating you on the Mastermind program by Fresh Out. See, they don't give you a manual when you go to jail on how to survive. They don't tell you how to go take a shower, where to sit at when you go to chow, what to do when you have mail call, how to handle your commissary. See, we cover that and a multitude of other topics that are very important, because if you do the wrong thing,
you can get your damn wig split. We have over 100 million views as of date on our YouTube channel, but we've put and condensed all this knowledge into this mastermind program so that you can provide your client with a winning chance. Do yourself a favor and your client a favor and sign them up for our program so they don't have to get their wig split and they can make it out alive.